generally use your eyes and you'll just be you'll realize how safe you really are here. And you can do this a hell of a lot. In fact, in the last test run I did before filming this, I basically skipped every single monster. I got a few lucky spawns. You can get unlucky with it, like they can spawn in a row and body block you, and you have to take them out and you have to kill the traps. But otherwise, I mean, I got quite lucky last time. I don't think I killed a single one in the whole run. I just moved it. Oh, except near the Reaper, you had to kill those ones. Yeah, excuse my rambling. You get these charged blacknesses. Just watch out for those. They will fight back, and they're elementalists. So, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy, isn't it? It's pretty cool. I don't know what these guys are. Are they just wildlife? I guess so. I wouldn't. It would take me a while to be convinced that they were a part of Doom's army. But yeah, you come through here. Basically, this is kind of a gateway region. There is a Reaper in this region. We won't be going to it just yet, though, because the quest's very easy. I like to do the harder quests first, just so that if I'm going to get knocked out, I get knocked out sooner. So we're going to come through here. Like this, right? If you're careful, you'll just be able to flag everybody past them, just like that, and through here. Okay, these are the Chaos Plains. These are a pretty cool place. I'm going to skip enemies here as well. You see these Dream Riders, Banished Dream Riders? We saw a lot of these in the Fissure of Woe. Not the Fissure of Woe, sorry. In the Foundry of Failed Creations. What happens here is you get 2 Wailing Lords, these guys. And you get, oh, and some skeletons as well now, of course. Skeletons are everywhere since the update. So what you get is 2 Wailing Lords. You can kill those and the skeletons. But as soon as you kill the Dream Rider, as you will see here, I usually try and skip this Dream Rider I just killed because it's a pain in the ass, but I'll show it here. When you kill the Dream Rider, it will spawn these things, these Mind Blade Scepters. Okay, now these guys will come at you. First there'll be 3 of them, then you kill them, and then a load more will come at you, and if you're not careful, they'll sneak up on you because the groups get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I could, if I wasn't familiar with the Underworld, I could kill these guys here, and have no idea what was going on here, and then just sort of wander off. And what I might not notice is, as soon as this last one dies, as you'll probably see on the compass, what I might not notice is a load more have just spawned. Where have they just spawned? Hello? Oh crap. Yeah, a load more have just spawned over here, you see. And if you're not careful, there are a lot of sort of these planes. All of these Dream Riders will trigger these big long chains of scepters that will come at you. And if you're not careful, you can suddenly be facing 2 huge groups of them at once. And if you don't know your limits, then they could just take you out, especially if you're not ready. They have some annoying skills. They're all mesmers. Generally, they're kind of annoying to take out. But since I've been using Matt Greenspring, who's just got all this AoE damage, it's actually, look at all of those ones over there, you see. It's actually quite cool. As long as you get them balled up a little bit, you can just dominate them. It's quite fun, to be honest. So we'll kill these. Now for the next quest, like I said, this is what I'd consider the hardest quest in the Underworld that we're coming up to now. A lot of people consider it to be the hardest quest in the game. I don't know about that. I think there could be some that are harder. It's just generally this quest you need, you know, that other one, protecting King Frozenwind. I said that it was just a lot about preparation. This quest is about both preparing for it and executing sort of your plan very well. So, but it can be done, and particularly on the settings I've got here with a con set up and being in normal mode, I'm really not that worried about it. Though I have wiped here a fair few times, and I can vouch for people who say that it's the most difficult in the game, because it is hard. This is one of those kinds of things that people thought was impossible, couldn't be done. It was impossible to do in hard mode with heroes, until this guy EFG, oh god, I've given him so many shout outs, but yeah, until he came along and he came up with this cool sort of concept of using some skills that people don't really use, muddy terrain and a couple of traps and stuff. I don't have to do any of that crap because I'm using a concept and I'm in normal mode, but yeah. Alright, so basically this area is quite tedious. There's some areas of the Underworld, ridiculously high intensity, and your hands are shaking and because they're just so hard and you're just so scared you're going to get kicked out. And they're padded out by these ridiculously long, boring-ass sections that do nothing but make you realise how much stuff you've got to go back through if you fail later on. So what I'll probably do here, guys, is speed it up, I think. I don't think I need to cut it, really. Come on, guys. Sorry, I didn't flag my people forward. But what we got to do, basically, is here's the statue. These will be the last Mind Blades here. You got the terror webs there. This bit's quite interesting as well, actually. I'll talk about that in a second. Actually, I might as well talk about it now. You got the terror webs there. Remember, killing the terror webs will spawn the Reaper. But next to the terror webs, you've got a banished Dream Rider. So what can happen here, again, if you're not prepared, you can kill the terror webs, spawn the Reaper, kill the banished Dream Rider as well, because oh, there's another group coming. Whoops. Because oh, what the hey, it doesn't matter. And then you can leave and go and fight some guys over on those plains there. And then all of a sudden you've got 100 Mind Blades charging at the newly spawned Reaper in the middle, which again can kick you out before you even get to the damn quest. So just another dickish move. It's just they're all over the place. What is that, number 4 now? Kind of tempted to do a little counter on the screen, but yeah, I guess it is kind of rewarding when you know about all this stuff and you can just kind of laugh in the face of all the challenges. But I do feel bad for people that just get screwed over by it. I really do. But there. Okay, cool. Right, so that's that wave killed. I'm going to go to the plain on the west-hand side now. I love looking out to these edges as well. I talked about it a bit in the Fissure of Woe, but man, I just love looking out to the sides. I know, guys, I haven't really talked about the lore at all here at the moment. I'm just kind of hoping that the quest dialogue is enough to satisfy you all. So what we're going to do here is, this is actually quite a nice pull here, because the banished Dream Rider here in the middle, he's not too close to the Terror Web. Sometimes they're stood right next to each other, and it's really hard to kill the Dream. What I like to do, I maybe haven't made that clear, I like to kill the Dream Rider without killing the Terror Webs. That way you're not at risk of a Reaper being swarmed. So what you do is just bring you guys close, and they'll kill him. But yeah, sometimes they're really close to each other, and it's really hard to kill one without killing the other. And if you do kill both, it's not so bad as long as you're ready, but... See, look, they're all spawning up there now. Right into the middle of my nest of spirits, which is pretty cool. So while that happens, I like to come over here. Because what can happen, which is pretty cool, is if you now kill this Dream Rider, he'll spawn a group that appear over here, which you can now kill. You see those ones there. And then once they die, another group will spawn over here in the middle. And you could get both the group that had already been triggered and this group here, and you get like a giant ball and you can just wipe them all out. Because at the end of the day, they're not really that dangerous. They're just a pain in the ass to kill. So I like doing that. It's kind of reliant on spirits though. Oh, look at all that damage. I love it. Drawing the aggro, which I'll be honest, I don't really set up. It just tends to happen. So yeah, look, no, it's positively swarming with things over there. I'm going to go pull them, hopefully. Come on. Oh god, don't tell me that's not fun. Don't you dare tell me that's not fun. Oh man, the dervish is really growing on me. I must admit, I had fun in my Nightfall Let's Play. I guess there's something you guys should probably know about me. I don't really like frontline characters at all. As in, I kind of believe that most of the time I prefer to be in a team consisting of entirely casters no matter what I'm doing, which is quite rich coming from me considering that all 3 of my characters have been melee. But I have explained that the reason why that is because I think it just creates a more visual experience during the videos. But yeah, I've got to say, after doing these test runs and this one here, I'm starting to really enjoy the dervish. Okay, so there we go. That's all of them cleared out. Oh no, it's not. There's another group coming. Hopefully we can intercept them before, so we don't have to fight them with the Terror Webs. Now, Terror Webs, yes, they do a lot of damage, but as you'll see here, they die very, very quickly. And this is very important to be able to kill them quickly for this next quest, because a good defense is just as important, if not more important, than a good defense. Did I just say defense twice? I meant a good offense. Because you're going to have to kill quick if you want to do this. The concept behind this quest coming up is that you're supposed to be in a team full of people. Maybe one of them's a tank. And you're supposed to split up, but because we don't have that option, because we're all playing with heroes and I'm not playing as a tank, I resent using a tank in the Underworld, simply because if you do, there's only like 2 quests, this being one of them, and 2 situations where it's actually useful. The rest of the run is just dead weight, so I don't like doing it. But basically, this is how it's going to go down. We'll speak to this Reaper. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go get a glass of water because my mouth's a little bit dry, and process all this stuff that I've already done. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I'm back. Right, Okay, so, yeah, this is how it's going to go down. We'll speak to the Reaper first. The vast emptiness, this is really cool, by the way. I don't feel like I've spoken about lore enough, but okay, so the vast emptiness that surrounds you is known as the Chaos Plains. All spirits without valor or redemption eventually find their way to this place. It's no pleasure to be sent here, but do not take pity on those you encounter. If a soul finds himself here, there is no doubt in this world or any other that he got what he deserved. This location displeases you. Where would you like me to take you? So this place is pretty cool. We're actually about to learn about a tower that was shattered here as well. A nice thing about the Underworld is that a lot of the spirits, sort of, you find out all these different regions. There's so many different places that a spirit can go depending on so many different things. So like the Underworld, I kind of gave off the impression that there were certain realms that were specifically for people that had been good, like Dwayne's Eternal Paradise, for instance, and there were some that were meant for people who'd been bad, like presumably the Underworld. But we actually find out really that there's a bit of a mixed bag in all of them. Some areas in the Underworld are for people who've been good, some areas are for the complete arseholes, and we're in one of the arsehole places, I guess. So, right, the Reaper of the Chaos Plains, he gives us a quest called the Four Horsemen. Before the time of Grenth, when death was ruled by a cruel and unjust god, there stood a tower and a throne on this very plain. But Grenth rose up and destroyed the one called Doom and shattered down his tower, leaving only these storms of chaos as a reminder of the power that once held dominion here. My vigil over these lands was broken for a time, and I can feel a resurgence of the old taint. Four horsemen approach, riders of doom. Destroy them before they can reclaim this place and throw the Underworld into chaos. Okay, these four riders are pretty cool. I think there's actually one called like Khazad Doom, which always reminds me of the Lord of the Rings. Alright, so what's going to happen here? Basically, we've got this side. There's two ways to get to the Reaper. There are four horsemen. Two are going to come from each side. So there's going to be two horsemen coming here. There's going to be two horsemen coming here. The horsemen, their skills, they don't really do that much damage. They're a bit annoying with what they use. Basically, they're really powerful banished dream riders. But they have a lot of health. They take a lot of shit to go down, okay? They're not alone, though. They actually have some terror webs with them. I think both of them spawn with 2 terror webs. I think at initial inception of the quest, that was all that was there. So you'd have 2 riders and 4 terror webs coming down from this end, and 2 riders and 4 terror webs coming from this end at the same time. So generally the idea was that the team would split one half there, and you'd hold them off and damage them, sort of fight back to back at the Reaper until they were all dead. However, updates have changed things. There are now also 2 silver or golden terror webs, I believe, and 2 skeletons of doom that come as well. So there's just a crap load of stuff that all starts charging at you. There are lots of different ways to do it. As I said, people used to speed clear this, and I think I've seen a video proving that you can like solo this quest still if you've got the right build. But again, it's to do with being tanks. Without a tank, it's a completely different situation, because if you have a tank, like, you can just place one of them here, right, and then everybody can fight that side, and then they can come over here and they can fight this side, and it's pretty simple. However, we don't have that luxury, so what we've got to do is stall this front. We're going to stall the western front while we run over to the eastern front and kill them, and then we're going to run back just as they all arrive at the Reaper. There's loads of risks with this. You might fail at stalling this side. Well, how we're going to stall them is laying a line of spirits down, basically, to make them stop and attack the spirits. There's all kinds of things that could go wrong. You could get up there, something could go wrong, and you're not going to be able to kill that side fast enough. By the time you get down here, the other team's already here and raped the Reaper. They do a lot of damage because they're all really powerful elementalists. So there's a lot of stuff to consider. My concept's running out, so I kind of don't want to talk too much. But basically, here's the concept. You're going to lay your spirits down, and something that a lot of people don't know is a lot of the banished dream riders have really long wanding range, like longbow range. So if you put the spirits downhill, like it can even just be a tiny little hill like this, when the things come over, they'll just start wanding at the spirits instead of using their skills, because they won't be close enough to use their skills, which means the spirits will survive for a lot longer. And this is the concept. If you just place your spirits out here, like where they're going to spawn, I think one group spawns there, one group spawns there, and then they run in together and run down. If you do that, then you're going to be screwed anyway, because they just kill them too quickly. So you pick some nice little spots. I'm not perfect at this. I really don't know that much. I think about here is a good place. So we're going to use... Alright, I didn't think I'd be able to commentate live this, but I'm going to try it. If I suck, because there's a lot for me to think about. If I suck, then I'll just do it afterwards. So here we go. We're going to lay a spirit of... Shit, I want to get... Where's my healer as well? Hello, Elias? Yeah, I'm going to lay a spirit there and a spirit there. Then I'm going to come over here to this corner down this hill here. And then I'm going to lay a blood song. And I'm going to lay shelter, why not? And then I'm going to lay Union. Why not? Okay. Alright, and now we're going to charge as fast as we possibly can. We're on a time because those spirits will die in time. I don't even know if I've done that too well. I'm still not that good. And then we're going to go to the Reaper. We're going to accept the quest. By the way, this is obviously a dick move. You have no idea what's going to happen if you haven't looked at a guide. Then we're going to charge it because if you wait in the middle, there's so much stuff to fight. You're just going to wipe. We're going to charge over here. You see, here's Khazad-dûm. Yeah, there you go. There's Khazad-dûm with 2 of his terror webs. We're going to target the terror webs first. They're going to try and meteor shower. My teams generally should be able to interrupt the head out of them, though. They're all going to die. You see how quickly they die? We're going to attack this guy as long as we can. Then when these terror webs are going to come, we're going to charge over here. I'm going to hit save yourselves there. And we're going to kill these ones. We're going to try and deal with all of the both of these horsemen as soon as possible. Okay, now that they're dead, the silver terror webs are starting to come in now here. You see this? So we're going to kill one of these. I generally like to get back after this, though. You can see there's another silver terror web there. Now we're going to run back, okay, as fast as possible. These spirits here will hold off that other silver terror web, who's not actually going to charge us. Now we're going to run down here. If I've blocked the other team fast enough, you can see a meteor shower going down there, which means I've done it wrong because they're not wanding. I'm going to come over here, and look at that. Oh, fantastic. See, we've got plenty of time. I actually, in one of my test runs, did this so well that they all came here and they were all balled perfectly in a nice little ball about here, and I just managed to nuke them all out. That was pretty good, actually, I've got to say. And then we managed to nuke all of these guys out. Now, don't forget that you've got 2 silver terror webs coming in now as well. There's going to be one coming in from the other side, and we still haven't seen those skeletons that are due. Mark my words, they will be here. I'm going to do that for a little bit. I don't know. Alright, they're dead. Now, there's another silver terror web coming from the other side. He should have been stalled. There we go. They're all dead. Right. Now, you might get confused here if you get to this point, because it will say quest has completed. That's because in the old implementation of the quest, there were no more enemies. There weren't even the silver terror webs. We could have been done, but no. We got 2 skeletons coming from either side. So, skeletons, as I say, they can bypass all defenses with one of their attacks. It's called Bone Spike. So what I'm going to do is flag a guy on either side so that when the skeletons do get here, or the terror web indeed, the Bone Spike will go onto them instead of the Reaper. Well, a nice thing to do is if you're really kind of shitting yourself, it is not uncommon to be in the middle of a huge fight when these guys come in. If that does happen, it's a good idea to get your healer open and sort of keep the Reaper selected. Thing is with me, where I killed the horsemen so quickly, the Reaper's actually no longer an ally in the party window, so there's no way that these skeletons or anything will attack him anyway, which is pretty awesome. So if you can be quick enough, I mean, that probably looked quite easy to you guys, but that is a pain in a lot of people's side, and it's up there as one of the hardest quests in a lot of people's opinions. Obviously, hard mode and without a consumable set, we're talking about something completely different experience. As I said, EFG Jack, again, fucking hell. He's done a video on it if you're interested. But there you go. Reaper of the Players, Chaos Planes. I just want to let you guys know I've never actually spoken to that person. I just like his video series. Okay, with the Doom Riders destroyed, I will see to it that the old taint does not gain dominion over this area again. The Underworld will rest safely in the hands of Grenth. Okay. Brilliant. Alright, that's 2 of the harder ones done. The next area we can get to from the Chaos Planes here, so we're going to go over there. Back over here. Again, I'm going to try and skip these guys. The only reason I don't skip the guys on these planes is, of course, because we've got to kind of charge through, and they could be a bit of a pain in the ass because you can kill the 2 Wailing Lords and just leave the Dream Rider, and I have been tempted to do that. Just leave the Dream Rider on each of the planes. The thing is, they've got Cry of Frustration, and then you could just run past them when accepting the quest. I definitely see that as being possible. The thing is, they've got Cry of Frustration, and if you've got one of those hounding your back line while they're trying to interrupt the meteor showers at the front and stuff, I don't know, I'm just not too confident about that. So what I like to do here, though, is we're going to be coming up into this region. It might look like the mountain region we were already in, but it's not. It's a different place. This is called the Bone Pits. What I like to do, is flag everybody forward. Kill that rider if you want. It doesn't matter. You should probably have a spirit wall anyway, though. So the second that the rider goes down, yeah, it will spawn some mind blades, but there will only be 3 of them, and they'll all get caught on that spirit wall. So you can just feel happy to come through here to these dead threshers. These guys really are not a problem. I'm sorry, guys. I'm talking so much about gameplay. This is not how this was supposed to go. Shit. What can I say about the lore here, though? I mean, these are just big undead guys in the Underworld. There's so much cool stuff to talk. Do you know what? These episodes can be... You guys can run away with the theories and go crazy. So basically, this whole area, as I said, these guys really aren't much of a threat. I kind of get the feeling I could kill 4 groups of these at once and it wouldn't be a problem. Thing is, for weaker teams, these guys can be a pain in the arse because as you're walking past, the dead collectors are going to be up on these ridges that you can't quite get to, and they'll be harassing you. And you can wait and use your casters to take them out if you want. And in fact, that is what I do when I play as a caster here. But considering I'm a melee guy, I'm just kind of ignoring them at the moment because I want to get into more people's faces. So, oh, my throat. Oh, guys, how long have I been doing this? Like an hour now? Oh, my throat is not what it used to be. Okay, I'm going to cut it, I guess. This whole area, it's just running through, killing these guys until we get to the Reaper, which is at the end. Oh, this was another area where you could see the statue, by the way. There's actually a quest at Winter's Day that takes place here in this very area. Oh, that's something cool I didn't mention actually. We'll be going to a lot of the Underworld here, but there are actually other areas of the Underworld. Most famously, the places we saw in the Tomb of the Primeval Kings, and in fact the areas of the Underworld you travel through on your way to the Hall of the Heroes if you're playing in the international tournament known as Heroes Ascent. Those places, they are a part of the Underworld. They're part of this realm, but you don't get to go to them in this area as the elites. Mission area, if that makes sense, which is quite cool. So I would like to give you footage of all of those areas. There is no dialogue or NPCs or anything to see. It's just kind of cool to be able to see the journey you go on. But I mean, years ago I used to enjoy Heroes Ascent. I did, but I mean, I'm only like rank 2, I think. I might even be yeah, I'm definitely not a Bambi, so there's no way I'd really be able to get into Heroes Ascent, not this late into the game's lifespan, particularly considering that the format's quite dead anyway. So that will probably be one thing I don't end up getting you footage of. But there are lots of other areas. Needless to say, there are lots of other areas of the Underworld that do exist. You just don't see them here as a part of this elite mission, sadly. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna rest my poor throat and just run around here killing these dead threshers. Really, that's all we got to do. And this is the second, in my opinion, second hardest quest in the Underworld we're coming up to. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right.